I like that. I'm into it. I like that. She's a hypnotist. I like that. In the morning.
Little music there, little music there. Hope everybody's day is going all right. What's today? Thursday? Thursday. One more day for the weekend. Some people already got their weekend started already, and that's what's up. More power to you. Hold on, you wind up this window. Downtown and stuff. So, my day is going all right. My afternoon schedule just opened up because they canceled my last couple jobs. So, awesome. Well, awesome for me. I can go hit this gym early, not too late. Probably just ride around for a little bit, something. But anyway, last night I wrote out for the first time, and since I started feeling better, and one, it was magnificent. It was awesome, and it just felt great to. I honestly don't know what I was doing before I rode. I laugh when I think about it. I was just talking to my brother about it. I said, "What the heck did I do before this? Like, did I just sit in the house? Like, I don't. Jeez, like this is so therapeutic." But anyway, I want to tell the story of three men. Yesterday, I conversed with three different men from three different walks of life in three different scenarios, situations, and stuff like that. So the first man, I know personally, and he called me on the phone, and he was checking up on me, checking my health, asking me if everything's okay, checking on my brother, making sure everything was good, asking me a few questions about other family members and things like that. And we just talked for a second and laughed and just really caught up for a quick second. And in that moment that I was speaking to this man, I became a son again. I'm still his son. Obviously I'm speaking about my father. And, I sit back and, I look at his predicament. Anytime we speak, his situation always pops in my mind. It's not necessarily that I am stressing about it or anything. I'm absolutely not. It's just that, talking to him and things, it always reminds me of how much I do miss him. Wish things didn't go down the way that they went down, but unfortunately they did, and it is what it is at this point. He's fine, he's okay, he's in good health, that's all that we can ask for. And I hold this man up on a pedestal because anything that he needs, anything that I can give to him is his. He'll never have to ask for anything as long as I have it, as long as my brother has it. He'll never have to worry about anything. We'll make sure he's okay and he's comfortable, and that's how it should be. That man had, he did what he was supposed to do and made sure that, I've never in my life have I ever gone hungry. Never. I've never experienced, as a child growing up, as much as the things that I've been through in my life and the situations that had occurred while I was a child, while I was a teenager, and I can honest to God say I've never went to sleep hungry. And that was the teamwork of my parents, and my father, who was providing. So, no matter whatever he needs, he has it. So that was the first man. And obviously, I've spoken with other individuals, but, these three really stuck out, and obviously the first one being my father, of course, that stuck out, Just a shout out to my dad, what I'm saying? Like, for all his faults, I'll say that my father has one of the kindest hearts I've ever seen. It's to a fault sometimes. Sometimes I think he's a little too kind, or he lets things go a little too quick. I do. But that's my honest opinion, and I love that man to death. But he has one of the kindest hearts. And he always tries to help family and things, and always tries to help people that he cares about. So shout out to my dad for that. The next man I spoke to, I went and shot some pool. Cause I was out pretty late last night. I went and shot some pool, and I ran across a man named Melvin. Melvin is a barber. And me and Melvin, you know, was just chopping it up, shooting some pool. He didn't beat the crap out of me, but, you know, it came down to, like, I did lose, but, you know, we shot like 3 games. I lost all 3 games, but it kept coming down to, I think, the first 2 games, it came down to, like, 1 ball and the 8th ball left. And the last game, I had 2 balls still on the table and stuff. But, I mean, whatever. I lost, whatever. But in the midst of us shooting pool, we were talking about life in general and talking about, you know, just the complexities of being a man. And, you know, we were going back and forth. And I know I've probably said this, or most people have probably heard this. And, you know, again, in the midst of us shooting pool, he just goes, I think people really don't understand the fundamentals of being a man. People really don't get the complexities of being a man. Every day we wake up and we go to war. Every day. And I said, elaborate, you know, and I said, you know, explain. He said, man, every time you wake up, you got to go to war because you got to go to work. You got to answer to somebody. And here's the thing. Yeah, women have to deal with it too and things like that. But I'm just speaking about it because I'm a man. I can speak about it from a male's perspective. You got to understand that we go through being a male, being a boy, and then growing into being a man. Unfortunately, some people don't reach that stage until ever or sometimes. And he goes, you know, we get up, we go to work, we have to answer to other people, and, you know, most people have to do that, but, you know, men with our pride and things like that, that can sometimes get to us, and that can sometimes be detrimental to us. And with that, you know, regardless of if we're right, it doesn't matter, because if we're not running things or if we're not in charge, something like that, it doesn't matter. So, you know, just to deal with that and swallow that pill most of the time, because you're going to be working for people, or you're going to be working in general. Just being out here and trying to live right and not, you know, do some of the things that you see most of these guys doing, especially to women, especially to, you know, other individuals, just trying to get over. It's a constant battle every day. And he's like, and you know, and I was like, you know, I think that's everybody, but I hear what you're saying. And then, you know, for the stigma of, you know, most of us get thrown under the bus anyway because of how a few are perceived and how a few have, you know, managed to perpetuate that certain stereotypes and things like that. So I hear what you're saying. So we talking like that, and it was a really good conversation. And, you know, we got into other things. You know, we delved into some things that I'm not going to get into as far as his marriage goes, and as far as where I am as far as single life and people that I, you know, spend time with and things like that. And it was just really interesting to hear from a man. Like, mind you, this man doesn't know me for nothing. I don't know him for nothing. We just started shooting pool, and we just started chopping it up about life. And you know what? I think we all just need to talk more, you know, especially men. Just shoot the breeze. Not literally. and just talk, and just everybody just from so many different walks in life. And, you know, I took a couple of gems from our conversation. You know, we spoke about chess, and we talked about pool, and we talked about, you know, the strategies that it comes with those type of games. And, you know, he has a philosophy that he follows, and you know, when it comes to chess, he says, you know, essentially goes along the lines of, you don't know a man until you play him in chess and stuff, because they say chess is a strategic game, and he feels as though chess is the game of life in general, because based upon what that man has gone through and based upon how he handles situations, you know, that's how he's going to play the game of chess, you know. So if a man is aggressive and this and that, he's going to, you know, based upon his first move, he's going to move aggressively to try to get as many of your pawns off the table as possible. If a man is patient, likes to bide his time, you know, he's going to set it up to where he can attack you all at once and destroy you when the time is right to him. And he proceeded to name other scenarios and things like that. And, you know, I get where he's coming from. You know, you can look at it like that. You can still look at it as a game, a strategic game. It's still all strategy. But I see where he took it to another level and tried to, you know, bring it down to where you can explain life in general and try to explain the perception and the thought process of a man. The last man that I spoke with that night, I stayed until close. Everybody was gone. And I ran across an individual. I was on my bike, and I was about to start it up. And this guy comes up to me. He's like, man, you got $1, brother? I said, man, I don't even got nothing, man. For real. I just, I spent it up in the pool hall. And he's like, oh, man, he said, man, I'm ailing here, man. I just got out of the hospital, and I was on that stuff, and I got some stuff in my pocket right now, but so I'm just sitting there talking to him, and this man, I know most people wouldn't have given him the time of day, but I sat and I talked to him for a good 30, 35 minutes, maybe even longer, because I didn't get home till, if the place closed at 2 o'clock, I didn't get home till about 1:40 to 1:40. No, the place closed at 2 o'clock. I left out probably like 1:50. So I didn't probably get home till about 2:45, 3 o'clock, something like that. So I was talking to him for a while. And, it got to the point where I just had to stop him because he was telling me his life story. He's telling me how, his mother's a fiend, and his, his father was never there, and, the stepfather used to beat him. They fought all the time. He tried to kill him, and then the mother got him locked up, and all that type stuff. Just stuff that you hear all the time, unfortunately. And, I was sitting there and I was listening to him, and I sat there and I looked at him and I said, listen to me, man. I can't. This is what prompted me to say this to him. He was mad because he just got some fresh felonies on his record. So he was complaining about the job market and how nobody was gonna give him a job, and how nobody's gonna give him a chance, and he's gonna have to go back out here and do what he has to do to survive. And I said to him, well, my man, I can't sit here and say I get it, because I've never had a felony a day in my life, or misdemeanor, nothing like that. I've never had that, so I can't say I understand. I understand the notion of like jobs turning you down for other reasons, but not necessarily that reason. So I get the getting frustrated part and things like that. But I said, my man, you got to listen to me when I say this. You coming to me and you complaining about life and this and that, and I'm not knocking it. And sometimes you just need a vent, and that's why I'm sitting here, because I think I was just here for you to vent, instead of going and doing something stupid. And I hope that my words hold weight, and I hope that you can, at least I can talk you out of doing something foolish tonight, because you walking around with that stuff in your pocket, that's not what a man that wants to turn his life around does. That's not what somebody that's saying that they want to do better does, man. And I was like, you have kids? He says, I got a 10-year-old boy, man, and I love him to death, man. I love him to death. I said, you love him to death, man, but you're doing stuff that's going to affect him, man, because when you get locked up, you're not going to be around for your little boy, man, or you on that stuff, you're not yourself, and your little boy is going to see that. He said, and he veered off a topic and started talking about his baby mother and how she's a fiend, and she gets clean, but she goes back, she gets clean, and she goes back. And I'm like, I'm explaining to him, like, my guy, that's not what a man does, yo, that wants to do better. So you complaining and saying these jobs is not going to give you a shot when you're not even out here moving better yourself, And I'm not saying that like it's going to be overnight. I'm not saying that, you're going to just get off that stuff and just be, everything's just going to turn around. I mean, some people get it easy like that. God work it out for them like that. But, for most of us and for most people, just from what I've seen and what I've experienced working in the counseling field for a few years and dealing with a population of people that, abuse drugs and dealt with mental illness on top of it, it takes time and it takes a lot of strength to continue to want to be better, want to be a better you, and continue to want to move better. So I told him and I talked to him and I said, you know what, I hope, I said, man, I hope you move better, man. But you being out here in these streets and stuff like that this late at night, there ain't nothing out here at this time that's gonna promote you to move better. So I said, I don't know what you paid for that stuff. I hope you throw it away, and I hope you take the steps that you need to start moving better, man. And he just looked at me. He was just like, all right, man, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate it. You sure you don't got $1? So I say this to say these three men from totally different walks of life that I conversed with and spoke with last night. Every last one of them taught me something. Every last one of them made me reflect on myself. Every last one of them made me think about their situations. And every last one of them showed me, certain things that, I still need to learn. Certain things that I need to continue to always put forth as a man. My father, always just the kindness and to no matter what, when the day comes to handle family affairs, my own family, make sure I do handle it accordingly. I always think that when I think about Pops. And to just certain mistakes that he made, try not to make those mistakes. I always think about those things when I talk to Pops. And the second individual, just some of the conversations that we had about marriage and relationships and just being a man in general and things like that made me, evaluate some of the thoughts that I've been having lately, and it made me evaluate myself. And, I think every day you reflect, every day, no matter what, every day you reflect on the decisions that you made during the day, the one decision you made earlier in the week or whatever, and you just say, could I have handled that better, or could I have this, could I have that, and that's it, and you keep it moving. That's that's part of growth. I think you sit down and you look at the things that you do, and you just try to figure out whether or not you can move a little bit better and things like that. Obviously living life, don't let it stop you, but obviously living life at the same time. So shooting some pool with this guy, got his card and everything like that, man. I told him, hey man, one day, man, maybe I'll come down, maybe I'll bring one of my God kids down or something like that, whatever. I'm gonna get a little shape up or something like that, whatever, support, and the last guy, obviously, just taught me to keep, after I was riding and just thinking about it for a little bit, and then, I just thought to myself, just said, Breeze, just keep doing what you're doing, no matter what, because sometimes that's all a person needs, man. It's just, they need somebody to vent to. They need somebody that just talk. Sometimes you just need to sit down and just be a listening ear. I don't think, honest to God, I don't think I got through to him. I really don't. But, it used to bother me a lot, especially when I was a counselor and things, and sometimes I can't get, because you can't say, I hate that you can't save everybody. I hate that. And I don't know that man for nothing. I don't know the things he's done. I don't know the sins he's committed, but, it's just seeing people like that. Yeah, he was probably just rambling, but me, myself, I'm just like, God, I wish I had the resources just to literally just grab you, take you to a rehab, and just boom, and just put you in there, and just say, I did all I could, and that's force you up in there. The rest is up to you, is whether or not you want to take the proper steps in the right direction. So 3 different men that I came across from 3 different walks of life with 3 different situations all showed me something. And all I can say about these 3 men is I'm thankful to each and every one of them, because somehow, some way, they taught me a lesson, and they showed me that, there are better ways to move and things like that, and there are, better ways to think, and always, 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 always be prideful in who I am and stuff like that. So, again, I think the message here is just talk to each other. Men, this is more for my men out there. Talk to each other. See what's bothering the next man. See what's hurting the next man. See what he's going through. See what type of ways he looks at life. See how he he moves and stuff. So shout outs to all the men, all the strong men, all the men that are going through stuff, and obviously the emotional man, and the prideful man. Shout outs to all my men out there. Talk to each other, hold each other up, Stand firm in what you believe in. Keep it moving. And always, 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 always grow to be a better man. Always always strive to be better. The best you. The best man you can be. You know? So, booyah. If I catch anybody on the streets later, I catch you. Be safe. All right. Have a good weekend.